This week, Camille and I have been married 10 years. It seems like just a blink of an eye. It has made me contemplate how it all got started. And it got started because of a boat. This specific boat right here. Boats have been important to me my entire life. So it's fitting that my first date with Camille involved a boat. Just some quick backstory. My dad and my father-in-law were actually best friends since they were in middle school. However, when Camille and I were growing up, I grew up in Idaho and she mainly grew up in Arizona. Our families had just seen each other kind of passing by throughout the years. When I was 22, my dad suggested that I take Camille out on a date. At that point in my life, I was willing to date anyone. So I gave her a call and tried to figure out when was a good time I could take her on a date. Funny thing, when we ended the phone conversation, she called me Blair. My name's not Blair. At the time, she was going to BYU, Idaho, which was about 5 hours away from me. She happened to be going to her uncle's house the coming weekend. I suggested I take her on a date there, which was only 2 hours away instead of 5 hours away. And sure, our dads were friends and knew each other, but Camille and I didn't really know each other that well at all. After thinking about it, and I didn't want to invest 2 hours of driving to go take her on a date. I know that doesn't sound very nice, but it's the truth. So I concocted a plan to get myself out of the state. You're not too bright now, are you? Perfect. I would shoot her a text and say, why are you going to your uncle's this weekend? I was expecting a response like this. I'm going to spend time with my uncle and his family. Then I would say, oh, I don't want to impose on your family time. Doesn't look like it'll work out this weekend. Maybe we can go out another time. Bam. Commitment averted. But before I sent that text, she sent me another one. And I'm also going to go wakeboarding with some friends. I couldn't resist myself. I said, maybe I could go too. Kind of joking, but kind of serious at the same time. And then she responded with, well, you probably can. Let me check. Right away, she said, they said you can come. Okay, timeout. At this point, I was thinking, one, I don't want to drive all that way to take this girl on a date that I don't even really know. And two, now I'm gonna have to go wakeboarding with them. And it's probably gonna be this crappy non-wakeboarding boat. And I don't want to wakeboard on a non-wakeboarding boat. So now I tied myself into this date I don't necessarily want to go on and wakeboard on this boat that I don't necessarily want to go on. And I know this sounds really boat snobby. And yes, I am a boat snob. And I'll be the first one to admit that I am a boat snob. But I had to. So I asked, well, do you know what kind of boat your friend has? And she responded, I don't know, let me check. Yeah, I know, it doesn't paint me in the best light, but it's funny and you're gonna like it. My decision to take Camille on a date was based solely on her next text. If it was a non-wake boat, I would make up some excuse and I wouldn't go on the date. But if it was a wake boat, then I was going on the date. Is that bad? She sent me the text. He said, it's a Malibu Wakesetter 247. Awesome, I'm in. I know that was shallow, but I knew that if the date went bad, at least I would have fun on the boat. We were gonna go wakeboarding with her friend Kyle and their family. Just so you know, the date went horrible, but that's a story for another time. The boating experience was pretty awesome, and I left there thinking like, the date was okay, wakeboarding was fun, I'm gonna be on with my life. So I thought Camille was just not really into me. Little did I know that I made a great impression on her. 9 months of dating, a marriage, 3 kids, and 10 years later, here we are. And I can honestly say, today, I love her more than I've ever loved her in my entire life. She is my best friend. She's the person I want to spend the rest of forever with. She is amazing. And this never would have happened if it wouldn't have been for a Malibu Wakesetter 247. That's why I'm passionate about boating, is it's impacted my life in so many different ways. And I want to help you share your love of boating with your kids. So please subscribe so that we can do that. Check out this video right here. Now that wakeboarding season's here and you need to teach your kids how to wakeboard, this one will help you out. Now that I think about it, if I would do my proposal over again, it would have been on a boat.